What's up, everybody? We're here on FreeCodeCamp.org doing a daily code challenge for September 21st. Video storage is the name of this challenge. It's looking like it's just an extension of the last 2 days' challenges. It looks a little bit more elaborate, but let's have a look. Given a video size, a unit for the video size, a hard drive capacity, and a unit for the hard drive, return the number of videos the hard drive can store using the following constraints. The unit for the video size can be bytes, kilobytes, megabytes, or gigabytes, B, KB, MB, or GB, respectively. If not given one of the video units above, return the string invalid video unit with uppercase I. The unit of the hard drive capacity can be gigabytes or terabytes, GB or TB, respectively. If not given one of the hard drive units above, return invalid drive unit, uppercase I. Return the number of whole videos the drive can fit. Use the following conversions. And that looks pretty straightforward. This all generally looks the same as yesterday's, except now we are dealing with terabytes and we are getting a unit for the hard drive. We didn't have that before. We just assumed the hard drive was gigabytes. So there'll be a little bit more validation, and it looks like everything looks pretty straightforward. I do have a question though. On the second test case, invalid video unit, it says that getting a B is invalid video unit, but up here in the constraints, it says that B bytes is valid. So there's a little confliction here, but I guess we have to listen to the unit test over the requirements. Everything else looks pretty straightforward. So yeah. I guess we could focus first on kind of validating the inputs a little bit. But I think I have an idea. We can use an object to map our sizes, our unit sizes, to letters. And that'll let us, like the property names can be letters, like T can be something, but what would be the value? Let's hang on to that. I think I can type out kind of what I remember from yesterday, where we have here, I called it DS bytes. So the main strategy yesterday was like convert everything to the same unit. So convert the units to bytes and then make our calculation with bytes. So we'll have DS bytes, like drive size bytes, and I guess here it'd be V bytes, video bytes. So these are how many bytes the drive can contain, or the drive has, and the video is made of. And then our main calculation here that we're returning is math.floor on the bytes in the hard drive divided by V bytes. And so this will get us, possibly a decimal value here. This is an expression of, I have this many bytes on my hard drive, and I have this certain amount of bytes for each video, and it will get me how many videos I can store on this drive. But if I get some remainder, some decimal value, like, 200.5, we don't care about the 0.5 video that we can fill the drive up completely with. And that's what math.floor is doing for us. It's rounding our float number down to the nearest integer. So, 500.5 videos becomes 500 videos. We don't care about that 0.5. For this guy, we can keep it simple right now. We have drive size, and we want to multiply it by some exponent, and that will convert our larger sizes, gigabytes or terabytes, down to bytes And equally, we have the video size, and we can convert that the same way. Or I guess in the case of, see, this is where the confliction starts, is that it says we may get B as the video unit for just bytes, not kilobytes, megabytes, or gigabytes, just B. But our test case down here says that B is going to throw an invalid video unit error. So for now, I will keep what I used before yesterday, where we take the video unit and we just look at the length. And if it's greater than 1, then we're going to have to do some conversion. But if it's not, if it's 1 or less, for whatever reason, we just want to return the video, or assign the video size into V bytes. Right? And now this is where the size map comes into play, because we have some exponent here that we need to assign to our 1000 in order to convert between the units, and each larger unit multiplies by 1000. So in order to go from 1 byte to 1 terabyte, we need to exponentiate it by 4. When the first character in our unit string, drive unit or video unit, is T, that exponent's going to be 4. When it's G, it's 3. When it's M, it's 2. And when it's K, it's 1. And that will let us do this. We can take size map and find the property on size map that corresponds to the drive unit at the first index, 2 lowercase. And I'm doing that because I don't think I can do uppercase T. Yeah, that's a reserved, I think that's a reserved character. We can try doing uppercase. I don't know what that's going to do. It's just, it kind of trips me out that we're getting a green color. I'm used to, in TypeScript, we have T and like uppercase single characters outside of a string being like generic indicators. So that may not work. We may need to go to lowercase, but we could keep it at the case we're in, because it looks like we're getting uppercase in all of our test cases. Uppercase T, uppercase K, and this is JavaScript. This isn't TypeScript, so it shouldn't recognize this as a generic. So yeah, that takes, we get drive unit in here, first character, let's say it's a G, and so that looks at the size map. G is 3. 3 gets filled in here, 1000 to the 3rd power times drive size. And that'll get us drive bytes. Same thing for our little guy down here. Boom. And only this is video unit. Oop. Video unit, video size. Yeah. But we do have these strings we have to return. So if it's not one of these, including the B, how can we tell? Well, first we can consider, if video unit dot length is greater than 2, less than 2, yeah. I was looking down here at this guy. So I don't think we're going to get a B for our video unit. So I'm going to scrap this and simplify it, because all we need is this, according to the unit test cases. And that's really what's going to let us pass or not, pass the challenge or not. I'll just put this on the same line. Okay, simplify that. And now if video unit length is less than 2, we want to return that string, invalid video units. And same thing for our drive size, drive unit, I should say. Drive unit, and then our string is invalid drive unit. And we need one more conditional in these. So it'll be like video unit, the length of the video unit less than 2, or size map. I was gonna say size map has own property. I do that a lot. Calling has own property on an object checks to see if it has it in its iterable properties. So not like its built-in properties by virtue of being a JavaScript object, but like the ones we specify. Has own property that we've specified of video unit at index 1 not. If it doesn't have that property, then that means it's an invalid unit. And same deal for the drive. Could that be it? Oh, the drive can only be gigabyte and terabyte. So we'll need another conditional for the drive. So how can we tell here in this stuff if it's only one of these? We could look at the values. Size map at drive unit first index not greater than or equal to 3. Okay, I think that should do it. Hold your breath and we'll run our first test. Boom. All right, this one's broken. Why is this one broken? Invalid drive unit. Drive unit, and it's MB. We're getting MB. What is it getting? I'm gonna check my dev tools and see this failed test case. So we gave back 50, but it's expecting invalid drive unit. So why didn't we enter this guy here? Ah, I know. So here's a gotcha that'll hang you up quite a bit. I think this should be okay. Like these ones, but this needs parentheses so it can resolve to a Boolean and then check the not condition, not operator. Because right now without the parentheses, it's probably like trying to find the truthy falsiness of this and then compare it to 3. So it's a little out of order. We want to make sure that this is happening first. I'll betcha. All right, very good. So we passed. And yeah, I think the people that made this challenge today made a mistake. So they need to either remove B from this first constraint, bytes B. The unit for the video size can be bytes. They either need to remove the bytes or they need to fix this test case here, the second test case, because this should return the actual calculation. It should be able to accept 2000 bytes because that's 2 kilobytes, you know, that's within reasonable range. And according to the constraints up top, that should be acceptable, but it's saying that it isn't. So if, put it this way, if by the time you're watching this video and they fixed this, they changed this to, you know, they changed the test cases and they kept the constraint the way it reads right now, you're going to have to code it differently. What you're going to have to do is come in here to the video bytes assignment and check that video unit length greater than 1. And if so, if not, then just assign it video size. You don't need to do any conversion. I was gonna say maybe we can just do like a B and set it to 0. If I'm gonna do a little test here. I don't know my math off the top of my head, and it is 1 a.m. So I've been I've been thinking all day. My brain's kind of worn out. I just want to test to see if console.log, let's say 500 times 1000 to the power of 0. I think that's 1, right? That'll turn out to be 1, so we'll get 500. So this should work the way we want. Yeah, 500. So we can add B to the size map, and this should work out just fine. We don't need to check the length of video unit. But we would have to change our validation ifs, because we're looking at video unit length greater than 2 or less than 2. You just have to do that. Yeah. So let me recap. If they fix this test case to be in accordance with their requirements here, then you'll need to add B to the size map here and include it in this calculation and update the validation to allow for a 1 character video unit parameter value. But that's not the case now. So I think this should do it for us. Thanks very much for watching. Appreciate your time. If you like this video, click the like button. It'll help out my brand new channel considerably. And please subscribe. I'm going to be getting into LeetCode challenges pretty soon here. And then I'll probably be doing some LeetCode every day and at least one of these daily coding challenges every day. And then we can start working on projects. I have a few different projects lined up we can work on too. Yeah. Good things coming down the pipe. The more time I can spend on this channel, the more material I'll be able to provide you. So I'm working on doing that now. Thanks very much, and happy coding, my friends. Take care.